invitation, should you choose to accept it.
It's a quest. It's a quest for fun.
Well, The Rock says, why don't we just cut right to the chase?
Okay, now he wants to get together. Well, he wants to talk.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
It's showtime, folks!
What are you?
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to And I Quote, the live weekly show where we bring in a special guest, find out more about them, and find out what projects they have coming up in the very near future. My name is Ryan of Nerd Culture, and joining us in the studio this week is a very special guest. He is a member of the great team over there at Heroes for Causes Comics. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jeremiah. Jeremiah, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Doing good, doing good.
All right, man. Thank you so much for being with us. And by the way, if any of you out there who are watching us live have any questions for Jeremiah about Heroes for Causes, anything like that, leave it in the comments section, leave it in the live chat. Our producers are going to be monitoring it as we go throughout the course of the show. But in the meantime here, Jeremiah, let's kick things off with this. How were you specifically introduced to the world of comics?
Actually, when I was first introduced to comics was back in like the 80s, like late 80s. My older brother actually gave me an old Spider-Man comic, like one of the original kind of comics. And ever since then, I just loved it.
Oh, man, that is truly amazing, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, what were some of your favorite comic book writers or even artists growing up?
Growing up, I didn't really pay attention to the authors and like the writers and artists, to be honest. I mainly just paid attention to the books themselves. Now that I've gotten older and I'm actually doing them myself, most of the writers I actually love, but the artists I love are all indie people. Like most of the big ones, I mean, yeah, I know they're famous and stuff like that, but I like a lot of the indie guys actually better.
All fair, all fair. Now, what are some of your favorite comic book movies or TV series?
Movies and TV series. I mean, all the Marvel movies, of course, are awesome. Never a big fan of any of the DC ones, especially since they ruined my favorite hero of all time, which is Green Lantern. But TV shows, actually one of my favorites is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. before it went off the air, mainly because it focused on the people who, weren't the big superheroes, of people behind the scenes. I really enjoyed that.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm starting to see a little bit of a pattern here with the word Marvel included in that sentence, but we digress. Now, when did you decide yourself to become a comic book artist or writer? How did that start?
It actually started about 2 years ago when I started to do our first book. It actually started off as a cosplay I was going to do just to hand out information on cystic fibrosis. And then I went on to a comic book creators group on Facebook and was just looking for someone to help me make like a mock cover. And a couple of guys jumped in, said that they thought it would be awesome as an entire book, and we just kind of went from there.
All right. Very good stuff. Thank you for sharing that with us. Now, what would you say are some of the rewards of being a comic book artist or a writer?
Honestly, it's when we, especially our books, since they're cause-based, when we see kids with, who can relate to our heroes and just how happy that they have a hero to relate to, for me, that's the greatest part of all of it.
Absolutely. Now on the flip side of things, for a moment, what would you say are some of the challenges of being a comic book artist or writer?
The biggest challenge is funding. It's expensive to get these made, especially since we do it as a zero profit. So it's real difficult on that. But also trying to come up with ideas where people doesn't go, "Hey, so your idea is like this." Where they draw a straight line to another thing and think we ripped it off. Like, that's another hard one.
Yep. I can definitely see that being a challenge within itself. Now, do you have any special memories from being at conventions or other events that you've been at or Heroes for Causes has participated in over time?
I do, actually. And weirdly enough, my best memory isn't even at a comic book convention. It was at a reptile convention. I was wearing one of my Pathway t-shirts, and one of the vendors recognized it from when he seen it on Facebook and gave us like half off of one of the snakes we bought. Just because he recognized the character on my t-shirt.
Oh my goodness. That is something else. Any other special memories that stand out to you?
The first convention I went to as like dressed as Pathway, my daughter actually went with me as her first convention, and she just kept like watching her just go, "This is who he is. This is who he is." That was kind of cool.
Oh, that is wonderful. Nothing better than spending a good quality family time, people recognizing your character and things of that nature. Now, when Earth reopens and I see that some conventions are starting to reopen, some conventions are starting to be held. My question to you is, when Earth reopens and your family and your friends are able to go to conventions again, any plans on meeting are there anyone special you hope to meet at conventions somewhere down the line, or maybe characters you hope to cosplay?
I mean, I pretty much go to conventions all the time as our heroes, mainly to help spread the word. So that's who I'll be when I go. There are a few people I would love to meet, of course. One of the biggest being Kevin Smith, because he's one of the reasons I love comic books to begin with. And also Todd McFarlane would be cool to meet.
There you go.
He's actually commented on our comic book and said he loves the cover because it's an homage to one of his. So getting to meet him would be pretty cool.
Oh, wow. So just out of curiosity, what's your favorite Kevin Smith movie?
Honestly, the original Clerks. I love that one, and Copped Out. Or Cop Out.
Cop Out, yeah. I believe that's the one with Tracy Morgan, Bruce Willis. Yeah. Goodness gracious. That trailer for that movie alone, when them sitting in the car and you got Sean William Scott just yapping away in the back seat, knock knock. And then Tracy Morgan's like, "I'm not giving into this. I'm not giving into nope. No. Just all that kind of stuff." And I will say though, the thing I noticed about the first Clerks movie is that when they were having that conversation about, I believe it was Return of the Jedi, or how they were building the second Death Star and stuff, I was like, all right, now, I mean, I knew Kevin Smith was a big, geek. I knew that from the beginning, but when you hear references like that in Clerks, I'm thinking, okay, this guy's a massive Star Wars fan. I'm starting to dig this guy.
Yeah, he's also a huge hockey fan.
Yeah, I mean, well, you see him wear these hockey jerseys or jerseys for his properties or other properties that he's been working with or has worked with in the course of his career. Those hockey jerseys with him on social media are kind of hard to miss.
Oh yeah,
loves to wear them. Just saying, Kevin. Just saying. But but outside of that, oh my goodness gracious. So, Heroes for Causes. Tell us a little bit about it. How did it start? How long has it been going on? And what do you have planned for moving forward with Heroes for Causes?
Well, it's been going on for about 2 years. We got one book finished so far, and another one that's going to be coming out in about a month and a half, 2 months. It started, like I said, as a cosplay, and when I started looking for people to make a cover, Joseph A. Michael, who's my writer, and then Donovan Peterson, our penciler, both went, this would be an awesome thing to do as a whole book. So the three of us got together and started doing it. Joseph just liked the fact that it was going to be a cause-based thing, and then Donovan actually had 2 cousins who had CF. So it kind of hit on a personal level for him. And then I mean, that's what we try to do is all of our heroes have various diseases that people can relate to, and we just try to show the world how strong these kids actually are.
Absolutely, and that is a wonderful thing to do. Now, is there anyone in the comic book industry, whether it's independent or not so much independent, that you look forward to collaborating with, maybe working with somewhere down the line?
One person I would love to collaborate with, but he's always super busy, so I doubt it'll ever happen, is Brian Silverbacks. Like he's I talk to him on Facebook all the time. He's just really super busy all the time. But I would actually love to work with him.
All right. And for those who may not be familiar with Mr. Silverback, what's Mr. Silverback all about?
He does like Terra Prime and a few other ones like that. Like he does some really amazing artwork.
All right.
His name's on all kinds of stuff. He's definitely an indie guy, but.
Gotcha. Well, hopefully that will come true for you guys, and you're able to work with that person as well as a few others moving forward. Now, by the way, since we're talking with Jeremiah here, if anyone has any questions for him, leave them in the live chat. Put it in the comment section down below. We are going to get to those in just a moment here. Now, Jeremiah, when you're not working on your projects such as Heroes for Causes, what do you like to do? What are some of your favorite hobbies?
I build historically accurate shields. I play a lot of video games. Other than that, it's mostly just working on Heroes for Causes. I do that a lot.
All right. A man who's very loyal and dedicated to his work. Of course, I understand that. What are some of your favorite video games?
I used to play a lot of World of Warcraft, but lately got bored with that. Play a lot of Call of Duty, Diablo 3, Magic the Gathering, a lot of those kind of RP and collectible card game type games.
Ah, all right. And what did you think, just out of curiosity, what did you think of the Warcraft film that came out some years back?
I actually really enjoyed it. I thought they did a good job. I mean, obviously, just like any movie, it could have been better, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, every film has plans to move forward with multiple sequels and franchise because everything apparently has to be a franchise these days. Because Marvel did it so well in 2008. Why not more, right? So, yeah, were you kind of bummed when you found out that they weren't going to move forward with the Warcraft 2?
A little bit, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, it didn't really need another one.
Yeah, you're right. I can see that. I can see that. Any video games that you remember playing when you were a bit younger? Any favorite NES, SNES, maybe Sega Genesis games that you enjoyed?
Actually, I got my first experience with video game was actually original Super Mario on the NES. Like, I got it like the first couple of weeks it came out because my dad was feeling bad for us because he was working all the time. So I actually bought it for Nintendo and the original Mario when I was like 4.
Oh my gosh, that is something else. That's something else. Now, speaking of Super Mario, NES, and all that stuff, I'm just curious. Now, granted, this is a video game movie or a movie that has video games based within it, and it was basically one giant Nintendo commercial for its time in 1989. Do you remember The Wizard with Fred Savage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a fun movie. Wasn't one giant Nintendo commercial like, "Hey, Super Mario Brothers 3, first time we're seeing it here in the States in this movie at Video Armageddon. How about them apples?"
It was definitely an interesting approach to how they were advertising it. I don't think I've done that way before.
Yeah. How about that Power Glove, huh? Rad Racer. Gosh.
I remember the Power Glove and the little dance mat way before Dance Dance Revolution came out.
Yeah, I remember playing on NES with the dance mat at my friend's house long before Digital Dance Revolution, DDR came out. So wasn't that crazy?
Yeah, it was.
My goodness gracious, man. So much fun with those games when we were a bit younger. But hey, we digress on here. So to switch things up here just a little bit, Jeremiah, what weird food combinations do you really enjoy?
Oh, weird food combinations.
That you really enjoy, yeah.
Ask my wife. Probably the weirdest one I have is every time we go to a steak restaurant, I will get a bowl of potato soup, and I actually dump the soup on top of my steak and eat it that way.
Whew.
I like it, but I love it.
That is certainly one for the books, Jeremiah, if I do say so myself. Well, but hey, that's an interesting one. Now, how about this? What things do you do every day that you wish could be automated?
It could be automated.
Yeah, anything. Could be anything.
Feeding all my animals.
Oh, how many do you have?
I got 4 snakes, 3 lizards, 5 cats, a dog, a couple of fish, and a bird, and a couple of rats.
Gee whiz. And I thought my friend who lives up in Canada having, what was it, 5, 6, 7 cats was something. Geez, you take the cake on that one, Jeremiah.
I got a small zoo here.
My goodness gracious, snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? But
I had that 4 kids I got too, and it's a whole house full.
Oh my goodness. How are you able to manage all of that?
Patience. A lot of patience.
Yeah. My gosh. Patience is a virtue. That's what we were always taught as wee lads, young Padawans, but gee whiz, so many animals and taking care of them. But you know what? My hat's off to you, Jeremiah, because having so many things and so many responsibilities, as our Uncle Ben taught us so long ago, with great power comes great responsibility. So clearly, you're managing your responsibilities quite well in your neck of the woods.
Doing the best I can.
So our hats are off to you, good sir. No question about it. Now, who would you most like to sit next to on a 10-hour flight, and why?
Sit next to on a 10-hour flight. Ooh. Actually, I would love to sit next to. It'd be a tie between probably Neil Gaiman and Gail Simone. Both just because their personalities are so out there and interesting, and we have so much in common that it would just be nonstop conversation. It'd be great.
Good. Wow, those are some good picks. those are some good picks. Good pick. Definitely. So here's another one for you. Not to, kind of take this in a somewhat different direction, but what makes you feel old?
What makes me feel old? The fact that I've got an 18-year-old son. That makes me feel old every day.
Oh my goodness. Graduated, was it graduate from, I take it, this one is either graduated from high school or in college right now?
He's graduating this year.
Oh my goodness. What are the plans moving forward?
He wants to go to culinary school, actually.
Wow. All right. So maybe someday down the line we may see him on the Food Network?
I mean, that'd be cool.
Is that a possibility? I mean,
he's only been learning how to cook for about 2 years. I've been teaching him as I go, so.
Oh, that's great. That's wrong. What do you guys like to make together? What's a meal or something you like to put together?
Basically just different kinds of pastas. Like I've been teaching him all kinds of different pasta combinations.
Ooh, interesting. What's your favorite kind of pasta?
I do homemade raviolis that I have a cauliflower Alfredo I put on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. That's something. Does he have a favorite yet?
Not yet. He kind of likes all of them. I mean, he's an 18-year-old growing boy. He just likes food.
Person's got to eat, right?
Oh, yeah. Doesn't help if he's taller than me. He's like 6'3", 6'4".
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. My goodness gracious. Well, we wish him the best of luck with his culinary, goals moving forward, shall we say. Who knows? We may see we may see him on Food Network one day. He may be hosting his own show.
That'd be cool.
Who knows? Possibilities are endless. You never know these days. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. So, just out of curiosity, a little bit of a side note: Star Wars or Star Trek?
If I'm being honest, I don't really like science, like sci-fi very much at all. But if I had to pick one of those two, it'd be Star Trek.
Favorite
Just
Star Trek character?
They're better at character development.
Gotcha. Favorite Star Trek character, if you had one?
Probably Data.
Brent Spiner. All right. Favorite Star Trek movie or series?
Probably Next Generation or Voyager. Be kind of a tie between those two.
Okay. All right. I gotcha.
Because my favorite captain from Voyager, but I like a lot of the characters from Next Generation. So.
Oh, all right. No, that works. Absolutely, that works. So, what would you say outside of the superhero genre? And like you said, I know you said you weren't big on fantasy sci-fi, but what are some of your favorite movies in general? If you had to pick a few out of the batch.
Favorite movies, like sci-fi wise, I actually like the old Judge Dredd movie, the original one.
Oh wow.
I really liked that one actually.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I'm sure it has every movie has its fair share of fans, but a lot of people would probably say the 2012 Carl Urban version is the better one.
Movie wise, yes. I don't know. Something about Sylvester Stallone I like. But generally, when it comes to movies, though, I like movies where they actually explain, the characters themselves. It's not just, hey, this is the character's name and go. Like, that annoys me. I like when they give the characters some background so you can actually know who they are.
Well, that's understandable. I can see that. So I take it when something goes down that you're not proud of, you always tell someone, I am. Do you always drop some sly lines on them?
Not quite, but I mean, I've been known to do it once or twice.
I am the law. You betrayed the law. I'm sorry. Oh, man. Someone put together the montage of him just dropping that line each and every time in the movie. It's like a 1.5-minute video on YouTube. And I'm thinking to myself, gosh, I don't know how anyone could keep a straight face on set during the making of this film. I don't know. I don't know how they do it.
I don't know either.
It's movie. Must be movie magic. They put stuff in the water that day. I'm not sure. But outside of the Star Trek, what was it, Voyager or TNG, what would you say are some of your other favorite series that aren't necessarily fantasy sci-fi?
I mean, I did enjoy Stargate. I really like Wu Assassins. Like, I love martial arts stuff. So Wu Assassins was a really good one for me.
Ooh, interesting.
So you saw that one or not, but
no, unfortunately, that doesn't ring a bell for me at the moment. But I might have to add it to my list of things to watch.
Yeah, that's the Netflix one.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure if you saw this or not. Do you remember the TV series was on? I think it's still on, or if not, it was on just a few years ago. It's more recent. Into the Badlands.
Yes.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's off the air now. I think it did 3-4 seasons, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was good.
That was pretty. I remember watching a few episodes of that series. I remember thinking to myself, "This is pretty insane of what they're doing."
Yeah. And then after I'm done on here today, I'll be watching the second season of Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh, Love, Death, and Robots. I can't say I've heard of it. Can you tell us a little bit about it without giving away too many spoilers?
It's basically an anthology show. There's just a second season now. It's like little 5 to 10 minute episodes they all involve either like robots in some sort, and then love and death. Some of them are just hilarious. Some are kind of scary. Some are action packed. It's a wide variation of different types of stories and different animation styles.
Oh, okay. All right. A little bit of different flavors for everybody here and there. That sounds like a plan. So when it comes to robots, outside of that, what would you say are some of your favorite movies that feature robots? You and I, Robot fan, you a Terminator fan, maybe something else. What do you think?
Definitely iRobot.
All right.
I think my robots to not look super realistic. Like I don't want people, looking at robots that just look like me. Not so much.
You would rather they look like Sonny in the movie iRobot. Yes. Who told you that?
Like Gundams. They can look like that all day long.
There you go. Now, Gundam is a property that I've heard a lot about over time. I've just never seen the series or collected the toys or the robots, something like that. I haven't seen it, so I'm not really familiar with Gundam per se.
You saw Pacific Rim?
I did see Pac Rim 1 and 2. 2 was not so good, but Pac Rim was good.
Gundam is basically that, but they can fly and go in outer space. And they fight each other instead of giant monsters.
That actually sounds like something I'd be willing to watch. So if someone's trying to get into Gundam, where should they start?
Honestly, I've not seen a whole lot of Gundam. It's just a bigger known property, which is why I used it as the reference. I would start with Evangelion, because that's where Gundam got their ideas from. But
okay, all right. No, I got you. That's a good piece of advice there. Thank you for the tip. We do appreciate it. I'm sure our audience here appreciates it as well. So my goodness, we've kind of run the gamut here. We've gone from robots to fantasy to sci-fi to Star Trek to ships and all this other crazy stuff. Now, if you had, let's say, just for sake of argument here, a genie pops out of a lamp. You get 3 wishes. What are the 3 wishes you're going to make?
Well, first I wish for infinite genies. Of course, the obvious choice. No, honestly, it would be for probably permanent funding for Heroes for Causes. Would be the first right off the bat.
There you go.
Then it would be probably not have to worry about money for a while. Like I don't need to be like super wealthy, but just a house where I don't have to worry about payments and a running car, and I'm good. And then college funds for my kids. Like I know a lot of people would say, like end world hunger or world peace, but honestly, as long as human beings exist, those 2 things aren't going to happen.
Well, yes, we do have our moments of good things, and also we've had moments of not so good things happen to us. So that, hey, completely understand. Makes a lot of sense. You want to take care of those closest to you. We get it, 100%. There's no question about it. So if you got stuck in an elevator, just any elevator, and were forced to listen to only just one song, what song would you pick?
I'm Still Standing by Elton John.
Oh, kicking it to Elton John, huh?
That song right there is like my theme song.
All right. It's a good theme song. Good choice, Elton John. A lot of music, a lot of great music from that person as an artist. Great stuff, no question about it. Obviously, with the Oscar going back to '94, Can You Feel the Love Tonight from The Lion King?
Mm-hmm.
Can never really go wrong with that.
Weirdly, not an Elton John fan in general. I just like that song.
Oh, I gotcha. So I take it you haven't
decent. It's just not my normal style, but that one song, as I said, is like my theme song.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, if you don't mind me asking, if you had to compete now you're doing all these wonderful things with Heroes for Causes. What if you were a pro wrestler and you had to pick your own entrance music? Would that be your entrance music, or would you pick something else?
Ooh, no, I'd pick something else.
What would you go with?
Probably would go with Medicated.
Medicated, and that's by.
Of course, I'm terrible with band names.
Hmm.
Honestly, can't think of it off the top of my head.
It's all right. Okay, I was just curious.
I absolutely love because I do take a lot of medication every day, and it's a really good song.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I know who their partner would be if I had to pick a tag team partner, though, and that'd be Raven Stemple, because he's a buddy of mine.
There you go. So I take it if you were a tag team, what would you call yourselves?
I don't know. I'd probably just let him pick the name. But he's already a pro wrestler, so I just whatever he named us, I would be cool with.
All right. Did you Did you watch any pro wrestling growing up, or do you watch any of it nowadays?
When I was growing up, I watched a lot of it, but lately not so much. So I love the wrestling aspect of it, but all the drama stuff I could do without. I like the athletic part.
Right, the athleticism, understandably so. Now, when you were watching it earlier on in your life, who were some of your favorite pro wrestlers or favorite entrance music themes, certain superstars in the ring?
My favorite wrestlers were Rey Mysterio and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Like I've actually met both of them and have pictures of them in the living room with me.
Oh, what was that experience like meeting those two legends?
I mean, Rey Mysterio, there wasn't really much to it. We got the picture and then that was it. But Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, I actually met him at a wrestling event that I was helping set up, and we got to talk for like an hour, just sit there and talk. That was really cool.
Oh wow, that is incredible. That is really something. Now, I didn't get a chance to like sit down and have a conversation with Rey Mysterio, mind you, but I was at a wrestling event years ago. This was when Edge was having those T-shirts that says "Are you an Edge head" on it. I was at an event. This is when Edge and Mysterio were tag team champions for WWE at the time. And we were at an event. This was local to me, by the way. And we saw them come out to the ring. They did their match. They were wrapping things up. They were about to head to the backstage area. You know what I mean? So when Edge was leaving, I said, "Hey, Edge." And he turns around. He sees my Edge shirt. And then he comes all the way back to where I'm sitting, gives me a 5, shakes my hand. He's like, "Thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate it." It was like, he was thanking me for being there. I was like, oh my gosh, I just got a high five from Edge. This is insane.
Yeah, unfortunately, with me living in Tampa, this is like the hub of wrestling now. And while he's not one of my favorites, probably the coolest experience I've ever had with a wrestler was with Shawn Michaels. Back in the day, I was actually working at Chuck E. Cheese, and him and his wife and kid came in, like when they were getting ready to do a event here in Tampa.
Sure.
And my brother, who is a big Shawn Michaels fan, was in the hospital. And I told Shawn Michaels about it. He actually went and visited my brother at the hospital.
Wow.
He's a good dude.
Wow. HBK. Shawn Michaels. My goodness gracious. That is incredible. That is awesome. That is an awesome memory. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
He's a good guy.
Man, all right. Well, hopefully one of these days, if I'm ever at another event or if I'm at a convention where they got a couple, pro wrestlers coming through the door, if HBK is one of them, man, I'll have to meet him because, granted, I'm not a huge HBK fan, but I do respect what he's done in the business. So if I ever see him, I would totally more than happy to, talk to him about some stuff because, man, I'm sure he's got more. I mean, all wrestlers do, but I'm sure he's got more than enough stories.
Oh yeah. And then you got like Dave Bautista lives like 20 minutes from me. Sheamus has a house about 30 minutes from me. Cena has a house out here.
Oh, man. Yeah. Goodness. You can't see me. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, you're right. Tampa seems to be a central hub of a lot of pro wrestlers, especially ever since legends going back in the day like Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage were living in Tampa, and then they just kind of brought everyone down there with them.
Yep.
At the time, of course. Granted, it was back in the, early, mid, or no, excuse me. It was the mid to late 80s, but, we digress. That is, goodness gracious. Those are some incredible memories. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That is some really cool stuff. Man, I thought getting a high five from Edge was something, but gee whiz. Those stories take the cake. Now, what projects do you have coming up that you can tell us about?
So the one we're working on right now is actually a hero for pediatric brain cancer called Center Ice. We're doing with the American Cancer Society and Tampa Bay Lightning, and then Casper's company, which owns part of McDonald's. So we're working on that with them.
Oh, wow. That is incredible. Now, we want to take this opportunity to thank Jeremiah of Heroes for Causes for coming in, for being a part of the show here on And I Quote. Thank you so much for being here with us, Jeremiah. We really appreciate it. In the meantime, where can everyone find you on the interwebs and social media and what you have coming up?
We have the website, heroesforcauses.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, all at Pathway CF Superhero.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being with us. We will have all those links in the description of this video. If you want to check out Heroes for Causes, give them a like, give them a share, give them a comment, support what they're doing, because they're doing an awesome-tacular job, and we wish them and their team all the best moving forward. Now, this episode of And I Quote, and every episode of And I Quote, I should say, is powered by Poddex. Poddex are unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your own hand. So whether you're a new podcaster or existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddex.com. Make sure you use the promo code NerdCulture for 10% off your order. You're not going to want to miss it. In the meantime, you can find us here on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at It's Nerd Culture. New videos are being posted on our YouTube channel each and every week. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. In the meantime, to everyone out there, thank you to Jeremiah, and to everyone, please stay healthy, stay strong, stay safe, and read comics. Have a good one, everyone.